Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. So today, let's take a look at the 2026 BMW 550e. Huge shout out to Hendrick BMW Northlake for providing this plug-in hybrid for me today. Take a look at their website, that link is down in the description. This 550e is finished off in oxide gray metallic. MSRP is just over $81,000. Now this is powered by the 3-liter turbocharged inline-6. It's paired to that plug-in hybrid system along with the 8-speed automatic. And combined, it pumps out 483 horsepower, 516 pound-feet of torque. That power sent through the xDrive all-wheel drive system, propelling this 4,900-pound sedan from 0 to 60 in just over 4 seconds. It has a top speed of 155 miles an hour, and it also has a fuel capacity of 18 gallons, and you can expect to see around 33 miles on just the EV system alone. This has a wheelbase of 117.9 inches. Its overall length is 199.2. It has a width of 74.8, a height of 59.6, and its ground clearance measures in at 5.7 inches. Now this particular model also features all of the M Sport Pro packages along with the premium package. So part of that is all of the gloss black that you will notice up front, and this even has the illumination for the surround on the grille. Now there's a forward camera along with the sensor for distance pacing, and this has active grille shutters, so that lower section will open up to provide cooling when needed. Now this also has a dark housing for the LEDs to match nicely with all of the gloss black. And then the entire lower section of the bumper has large inlets and really nice lines and angles to give it a great sporty front end. And then there's a few lines coming down the hood that meet the top of that grille very nicely. Now this also has a two-tone design for the M Sport wheels, along with having the blue M Sport brakes. You'll notice more gloss black for the side skirt, and then a two-tone design for the power folding side mirrors that have a camera and a turn signal. There's also gloss black for the window trim, and then this has a full moonroof up top, so the roof is gloss black as well. And then you'll notice the 5 is stamped in that rear trim piece there, just behind the back glass. Now there's also gloss black for the spoiler, there's a backup camera, all the parking sensors, a dark housing for the LEDs, and then more gloss black for the bumper. Now you can use the button on the key fob or the release underneath to gain access to the cargo space. For this 5 Series, you have quite a lot of space in back. Now there's no storage underneath the floor, but you do have the option of folding down the back seats just to get a little bit more interior space. And then up top, you have the control to close the trunk or to lock the vehicle. Now if you do lock the vehicle, there's no proximity door handle on the rear, so you can just unlock it from the front and unlock the rear doors. Now this model has the white interior, which is a great combo, Bowers and Wilkins for the audio, some brushed accents, which is nice to see, and then storage down below. And then really nice design for these seats with some black accents as well. And then as we hop into the back, there's a good bit of legroom at 5'10". You have an area to attach and charge tablets. There's vents in the middle, more auxiliaries, and some storage down below. And then at my height, I have about 2 inches or so of headroom, so it's pretty spacious. The 5 Series is right in the middle. You have the 3, the 5, and the 7 Series. This is perfect for adults to be in the back. Now right in the middle, there's the armrest with cup holders, and then you have the middle seat, which you can fold down individually if you need to do so. And then there's plenty of space around these pillars to give you a lot of visibility. Now up front, you'll notice that there's ambient lighting on the door panel itself, and within that, there's some seat adjustments. Window controls are underneath that, along with the side mirror adjustments, and then a trunk release down below. And then very nice design for the front seats. And as we hop in, we're greeted with a solid black leather steering wheel with the flat bottom design. We'll start this up where you're not going to hear anything because it defaults to the EV setting. But we do have paddle shifters for this model with a boost paddle on the left side. And then you also have cruise control settings as well. On the right side, there's shortcuts to your music, volume, Bluetooth, and voice commands. So you can scroll through all of this information, just depending on what you would like to see. Even pull up the augmented reality, so you can have that in full screen there. And then you can also get into the layout as well. So if you'd like to change how to view this information, it changes slightly, but you have a few different ways there. And then the last one is for the head-up display, where you can go through several options here depending on how you want to view that information. Now to the left, you have some air vent controls, headlight adjustments, fuel cap release, and the vent speed for them. And then with the infotainment system, you have a good bit to go through. Everything is fixed in the lower section as well. And then you have the rotary dial down below with some shortcuts to further get through this. So you have Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, several other auxiliaries here, even your eDrive zone that you can monitor all of that information. You have a home screen that's a split view. So nav is on one side, and then you have information on this left. There's shortcuts into your climate, navigation and music, and then this also has heated and ventilated seats, a heated steering wheel, and temperature adjustments on both sides. There's some piano black underneath that. You have defrosters, more adjustments for the vents in the middle. There's wireless charging with additional storage, and then ambient lighting inside the cup holders, where there's also auxiliaries located down below. Now there's all the shortcuts, like I mentioned earlier, so you don't have to use it as a touchscreen system. Behind that, you have volume and tuning, and you have a few different modes. So you can go through all of these, including sport mode, just to get a little bit more throttle response, and you do have a few others that will also change the sunshade as well, and the graphics in the back. So you have some neat modes that you can go into depending on your mood for the day. Now you can also bring up your driver assistance, your drivetrain and chassis, and charging information, so you can go through all of this. And then there's a shortcut to the camera system as well. So you can pull up the 3D view and see around the entire vehicle. Now to the left of all those controls, you have the shifter. So push it forwards, that's how you can put it into reverse. And then you have drive, sport mode, and the e-brake is park. There's auto hold behind that, a split opening for the center armrest. There's also a locking glove box that has plenty of space, and then garage door buttons up top and controls for the sunshade. The glass is fixed, so you just have the sunshade adjustment. And then here's a look at visibility, where it's pretty easy to see over both shoulders. For a larger sedan, you have a lot of glass. As we set off behind the wheel now for the 550e, this is the second one that I've been able to check out, and I think it's a really cool option for the 5 Series. Now, if you're new to our channel, I own a plug-in hybrid X5. It's a little bit different in how you use the technology, but it's very similar across all the BMW lineup with their plug-in models. And I think it's a really neat system because you can pick and choose depending on how you're driving, depending on where the range is and everything, how you want to drive the vehicle. Now, for me, with my plug-in hybrid driving style, there's been a few times where I've put it just in the electric mode just to see how it does, going a few miles to the store or something like that. It's been very beneficial though in stop and go traffic. So if I am stuck in that situation, I just put it into the EV mode and I can creep along in traffic without having to run the engine. Things like that, I think, is a really nice benefit to have because you're not idling, stuck just idling with the engine. You can just have the engine shut off and still have all the basics with the electric system. Or if you want some more sporty driving, you can put it into the full hybrid mode and have the full power. So with this model here, we do have the paddle shifters, and the paddle shifter on the left side also says boost. So if you hold that for a few seconds, there will actually be a countdown from 10 seconds. So we are still within that time frame, and it'll give you a little bit of boost, but it's really just going to help in downshifting. So if you're already at speed, pull on that paddle, it'll downshift 2 gears, and then you can punch it and you are ready to go. But in general, with the paddle shifters, they are very responsive. So you have some sporty characteristics to this, especially with it offering the M Sport package. So we have the brakes, we have a lot of the cosmetics, the suspension as well. It's just going to give you a really nice ride. So if you're looking for the plug-in hybrid tech, it is a good option in this sedan. It's also a very nice vehicle to drive. This is something that will be great for daily driving. It's in the middle of the 3 Series and the 7 Series, so you still have a pretty decent sized sedan, and it's going to be great for backseat passengers as well. So if you're using the back seats a lot, this will be a great option for that. And it's very quiet and luxury focused, as you would expect. So it's definitely going to give you a really nice ride for your day to day. And one thing as well with the plug-in hybrid technology, this is something that you can of course charge. It is charging right now while we're driving. We have the regenerative braking, and you can put it in certain modes where it will hold on the battery so you can charge it while driving, but you do need to plug it in. So you can charge it at home. I use a normal 3-prong outlet for my X5. Since the EV range isn't that long, it can charge in about 8 hours, maybe 9 hours to fully charge it using a 3-prong outlet. I'm not interested in buying a level 2 charger or anything like that. You could do that if you wanted to. If it was a full EV, I would, but you can plug this in overnight and it will have a full charge. It's important that you do charge it several times a week, just depending on how often you're driving. That will really help benefit with the hybrid system. So while we can charge it, braking will charge it, the engine running will charge it, it's not going to go through a full cycle unless you do plug it in. So just keep that in mind that you will have to plug it in occasionally to get that full benefit. And I've been able to go around 600 miles on 1 tank of gas and charging it several times a month. So it's kind of a game with charging it, how you want to charge it, what mode you want to be in, just depending on how you're driving. So still in sport mode, second gear, here we go. And just a mild acceleration. This has plenty of power. It does weigh a little bit more, but it has plenty of power to get it up and move. And again, paddles are very responsive too, so you have those to use in a straight line. This isn't that much of a performance-oriented vehicle, but you could use it on some back roads if you wanted to. But this is what it's like to be behind the wheel for the 550e, where, as you can hopefully see, the red and blue for sport mode. So you have the lighting up front, which is a nice accent to see, and it will change depending on the mode that you are in. But a very nice luxury-focused sedan from BMW. And seats are very comfortable too. At my height, I have about 2.5 inches of headroom, and this is a height adjustable seat. So you do have that if needed, if you are taller than me, just to make it that much more comfortable. But super smooth, well-refined feeling. The 5 Series is a little bit more on that luxury side, especially when you compare it to even an M Lite version. You could go with an M5, obviously, which is going to be a lot more expensive and highly performance oriented. So if you're just looking for a nice luxury focused vehicle and you want the plug-in hybrid technology, it's a perfect option to go with. One of the few plug-in hybrid sedans from BMW, and very comfortable and refined. So that is going to wrap it up for the 2026 BMW 550e. Once again, huge shout out to Hendrick BMW Northlake for providing this for me today. Take a look at their website, give this video a huge thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and consider smashing that subscribe button so you can stay up to date with our daily uploads. I will see you all in the next video.